Yeah, here I'm saying like social media text. 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 Did I hear him say that you should read the text? Did I hear him say that you should read the text? Did I hear him say that you should read the text? Did I hear him say that you should read the text? Did I hear him say that you should read the text? Didn't hear him saying it. You should need to text. Didn't hear him saying it. You should need to text. Didn't hear him saying it. You should need to text. Didn't hear him saying it. You should need to text.
Good afternoon, and welcome to today's graduation ceremony. We hope you have the most wonderful, memorable experience with us today, one which you will look back on in years to come with a great sense of pride. Before we start the ceremony, I have 3 key messages to share with you. In the very unlikely event of us needing to evacuate the venue, please leave via the nearest exit, which might be behind you, and follow our ushers to assembly points. Guests requiring assistance will be escorted. Please take a moment now to see where your nearest exit is. In line with our commitment to embed environmental sustainability in all aspects of our operations, our graduation programme is available digitally. You can view the programme using the QR code on screen now. You'll be able to follow the ceremony easily, as the list of names in the programme should match the order in which our graduates take to the stage. And while you have your phones out, please could you make sure that your phones and digital devices are on silent. I know that at some point you will want to cheer and applaud, and we strongly encourage you to do so. What I would ask of you, though, is that you cheer and applaud and then quietly pause, so that our next graduate and their supporters can enjoy their moment too. This ceremony is being filmed, and our professional photographers will be taking that all-important photograph of your graduate receiving their scroll. So as much as I know you will want to capture that moment on your own camera, please could I ask that you don't obstruct the view of the people behind you. Thank you, and enjoy the ceremony. And now, if you're comfortable to do so, please stand for the arrival of the procession.
Please take your seats. Guests, families, supporters and friends, firstly, let me extend the very warmest of welcomes to Royal Holloway. It's wonderful to have you gathered here. And whether you're visiting us for the first time, already familiar with us and this beautiful campus, or indeed if you are among those watching this from around the world on our live stream, you are all very, very welcome to this ceremony. We hope it's a truly memorable day. It's our absolute privilege and pleasure to be sharing this joyful occasion with you and to mark the significance that it holds for you and for those that you are here to support, who are, of course, our wonderful graduates from the Faculty of Arts, Humanities and Social Sciences. At today's ceremony, we are going to be presenting students who have been awarded bachelor's degrees, postgraduate diplomas, master's degrees and Doctor of Philosophy degrees. And then this will be followed by the presentation of an honorary doctorate. Now, as you can see, our graduates are not sat with us just yet, but they're not far away. They're just in the room behind us, and they are watching you all via our live stream. They might even wave. They'll be with us very, very shortly. As we prepare to welcome our graduates into the ceremony hall, we'd like to share with you a special video. It's intended to show just how much these brilliant people have contributed to our Royal Holloway community and just how much they mean to us.
The first step, the first awesome sight, the beginning of a journey, the friends, the clubs and societies, the support, the place you called home, and the days and nights spent preparing for a bright future. Today is the day when it all comes together, that we celebrate you and everything you've achieved so far. Because this is not the end. This is the beginning of a new and exciting chapter for you. Today, you join a global community of over 110,000 alumni across 162 countries. Supporting one another, proud of one another. Celebrating your success together. Our global Royal Holloway community. Royal Holloway. Together for what matters.
And so it is now, with great pleasure, that we move to the presentation of the graduands. Will you please welcome the representative for the Department of Classics, Dr. Nick Lowe.
Professor Julie Sanders, Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I would like to present graduands from the Department of Classics. For the award of Master of Arts degrees, Eshe Khosrani. Emily Palmer. Alexandra Tazloanu. Caitlin Fitzpatrick. Tana Randall. Megan Berry Martland. Hugo de Groot. Morgan Varney. For the award of Master of Research degrees from the Department of Classics, Julius Grach. That concludes the presentation of graduands from the Department of Classics. It is now my great pleasure to welcome the representative of the Department of Economics, Dr. Vinay Nundlao.
Professor Julie Sanders, Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I would like to present graduates from the Department of Economics for the award of Bachelor of Science degrees. Leila Awad. For the award of Master of Science degrees from the Department of Economics. Hardika Bhati. James Campbell. Aidan Carlyle. Alex Gerard. Jakub Jankowski. Idris Kassiri. Srinan Yu. Harmandeep Bains. Patrick Shakir. Khushi Singh. Rutam Mukashi. John Yarichi. That concludes the presentation of graduates from the Department of Economics. It is now my great pleasure to welcome the representative of the Department of Language, Literatures and Cultures, Professor Sarah Wright.
Professor Julie Sanders, Vice-Chancellor and Principal. I would like to present graduands from the Department of Languages, Literatures and Cultures for the award of Bachelor of Arts degrees. Zoe McQueen. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy degrees from the Department of Languages, Literatures and Cultures, with a thesis title of Anthropocentrism, Ecological Crisis, and the Centrality of Flesh in 21st Century Fictional Meat Futures, supervised by Dr. Ruth Cruikshank and Dr. Danielle Sands. Phoebe Chetwynd. With a thesis title of Clothing Matters, Uncovering Overlooked Experiences and Post-War Resonances of Deportation, the Holocaust and Survival in Charlotte Delbo, supervised by Dr. Ruth Cruikshank and Professor Bob Eagleston. Kate Ferry Swainson. With a thesis title of Crafting an Italian Avant-Garde, Expressions of Craft in Arte Povera and Beyond, supervised by Professor Giuliana Pieri, Kate Devine. That concludes the presentation of graduands from the Department of Languages, Literatures and Cultures. It's now my great pleasure to welcome the head of the Department of Politics, International Relations and Philosophy, Dr. Kat Smets.
Professor Julie Sanders, Vice-Chancellor and Principal. I would like to present a graduate from the Department of Politics, International Relations and Philosophy for the award of Bachelor of Arts degree Zog Zimberi. For the award of postgraduate diplomas from the Department of Politics, International Relations and Philosophy, Erica Hammond. For the award of Master of Arts degrees from the Department of Politics, International Relations and Philosophy, Patrick Hall. Shuying Young. Catherine Ahrens. Ravid Minhas. For the award of Master of Science degrees from the Department of Politics, International Relations and Philosophy, Nene Masakwa. Theo Wise. Pascal Cooks. Cecilia Munoz Fernandez. Samara Radhakrishnan. Melinda Baptiste. Zoya Hiusa. Rachel Esomana Abiguime. Sanjit Berol. Ibrahim Musa. Edward Riley D. Nidaa Tawalbe. Vivi Filko. Chiara Alexander. Georgia Coomber. Helena James. George Jesuit. Leloho Nolo Mongwe. Hugo Taylor Mead. Joseph Walker. Sasha Atkinson. Pascal Eberowu. Scholte. Harry Stone. Shanjin Wang. With the thesis title of The Influences of the Foundation Deed of 1883 on the Gendered Development of Governance at Royal Holloway College, 1883 to 1949, supervised by Professor Nicholas Allen and Professor Laura Schoberg, Josephine Carr. That concludes the presentation of graduates from the Department of Politics, International Relations and Philosophy.
So, before we continue with the rest of the ceremony, can I take this opportunity to congratulate our graduates, for graduates they now are, but can I invite everybody to make as much noise as possible and applaud and cheer our brilliant class of 2025. Thank you very much. We are rounding it out in style. We now proceed with the award of the honorary degree of the University of London. Honorary degrees are conferred on persons of conspicuous merit for their outstanding achievement in a field of expertise and for the contribution that they have made to society. Please welcome Professor James Sloan to present Peter Hill for the award of Doctor of Science, Social Sciences, honoris causa of the University of London.
Vice-Chancellor and Principal, it's my honour to present you Peter Hill. This honorary doctorate recognises Peter's exceptional contribution in public service at the top level of government in the fields of sustainability, UK foreign policy, and national security. Peter was a civil servant for 25 years, during which time he occupied some of the highest offices in the service. He was CEO of COP26, the UN Climate Conference, Principal Private Secretary to the Prime Minister Theresa May, Director of Strategy for the Foreign Office, and worked in the Cabinet of the European Trade Commissioner. After university and as a stint as a junior research fellow at Queen's College, Oxford, Peter realised that he was more attracted to public service than academia. His girlfriend, now his wife, was applying for the civil service and he decided to do the same. I'm sure any awkwardness about Peter being the one who was accepted has long since subsided. The life of a civil servant is a fascinating but often invisible one. Peter's been the highest advisor to prime ministers, foreign secretaries, and the home secretaries of successive governments, and has the personal distinction of having probably spent more time than anyone else in UK government with Donald Trump. It goes without saying that he has handled situations and personalities that most of us could not. Asked what qualities have helped him in his career, he told us, "Anybody can be nice when there's no pressure, but when the stakes are high, the ability to stay calm and maintain decency has enabled Peter to get the job done." He's also, he says, pretty fearless when it comes to telling people things they don't want to hear. Peter's helped to bring about positive change on the global scale. COP26, held in Glasgow in 2021, was the UK's largest ever conference on sustainability, complicated by being staged during the COVID pandemic. For Peter, as CEO, this brought massive organisational challenges. There was also the small matter of galvanising the international community to collaborate and commit to meaningful change. For the first time at a COP, the assembled parties addressed the issue of fossil fuels, and with the help of Peter's stewardship, came to an agreement on phasing down coal power. He also succeeded in shifting the focus of the debate towards the relationship between nature and climate and to the accelerating need for countries to adapt to climate change. Peters brought his calm positivity to the most daunting of roles. When running number 10 as Principal Private Secretary, he was often asked with a look of pity whether he was okay. In truth, he thoroughly enjoyed the role, saying it was a privilege to work with a team of committed people focused on worthwhile work. Asked how he felt when he was told he was receiving an honorary degree from Royal Holloway, Peters' honest answer was that he didn't feel old enough. And it seems as if he's just getting started. Since leaving the civil service, he's found a number of new directions. Returning to his academic roots, he's currently researching how countries can cooperate to accelerate decarbonisation as visiting professor at the London School of Economics, sharing his unique insights on geopolitics, climate and energy with the private sector, and chairing climate-focused, not-for-profit organisation Pathways. It's with great pleasure that I invite you, Vice-Chancellor and Principal, to confer the degree of Doctor of Science, Social Sciences, honoris causa of the University of London upon Peter Hill for the leadership and guidance he's provided to the UK government and the huge impact he's making in the ever more pressing sphere of sustainability.
Sorry, I need my glasses. Number 10 did my eyes. So I want to start by thanking the Vice-Chancellor and Royal Holloway for this honour. It's an unexpected and wholly pleasant surprise, a rare thing for which I'm grateful and feel very humble. And I also want to thank Professor Sloan for those kind and largely accurate words. I want to offer my congratulations to all of you. You've spent years developing the tools to try to make sense of a complex, interconnected world. You've debated systems of power in the UK and internationally and explored the ideas that shape history, societies, and economies. And you've done this in a time of profound and sometimes disturbing change in our politics and in the international order on which those politics depend. I spent 25 years in government serving two prime ministers, dealing most days with questions of power, who has it, what they want to do with it, how to create it, and how to influence it. I've spent the latter part of my career dealing with climate change, both in the UK and internationally, whether as the Prime Minister's representative in the G7 and the G20, the CEO of COP26 in Glasgow, or as someone who now researches rights and advises on the politics and the policies of climate. And it's that, specifically, how we should think about the question of climate change that I want to address briefly with you. Climate change, the transition, net zero transition, the move to a clean economy, whatever you want to call it, is self-evidently not solved, but it is an eminently solvable problem. It's not to say that parts of the answer we don't know yet fully how to solve. In some areas, let's take aviation, agriculture, parts of industry, technologies may not be mature, or the pathway to deploying them at scale may not be clear. And there are sectors and markets where things are more advanced, so energy, road transport, or the built environment, where there are important questions to be resolved at the margin. But the overwhelming majority of what needs to be done to end the production of greenhouse gases is now clear. The key technologies, solar, wind, EVs, electric vehicles, heat pumps, batteries, are known, commercially viable, and starting to be deployed around the world at scale. It's equally clear that this is not happening at the pace necessary to reduce the risks of climate change to manageable levels. And it's clear that this change, as it comes, is going to be disruptive in economic, political, social terms within countries and between them. And even if its impacts are not visible every day, climate change will be a structuring factor in the politics of every country, in relations between them, and will, to some degree or other, affect the lives of everyone alive today and for generations to come. We should, in other words, think of climate change as a question of political economy, as a question of the creation, distribution, and management of power. And that is not meant to be a poor pun. The challenge of climate change is now primarily a question of political economy. And that means we need more people who can combine a deep understanding of politics, economics, that's how to identify, access, influence, and create power, with the knowledge of the technologies and science of climate change. So I hope that some of you choose to make a career at this intersection of climate and politics. You'll not lack for opportunity, whatever the ebb and flow of political mood in any one country at any one time. The issues fomented by climate change and our responses to it will be with us for at least the duration of an average career. I hope that those of you who choose another path, whether in politics, in economics, in international relations, in history, in art, or something else entirely, take an interest and an enduring interest in climate. Because even if you're not interested in climate change is surely interested in you. The primary responsibility for addressing climate change lies with political authorities rather than individuals. But we all do have a role to play, whether in what we choose to be knowledgeable about, what we tell our leaders we care about, or in the choices we make in our individual lives. Thank you. Thank you to the Vice-Chancellor, to Royal Holloway, and I wish you all the best in what comes next in your lives and your careers. Thank you very much.
I would now like to introduce our student orator, who is going to deliver a speech on behalf of all those whose achievements we are celebrating here today. All of our student orators are so special to us, and all of them make unique contributions to Royal Holloway. It's been a very moving week hearing them all. But we did want to make particular mention of Tana, who's about to speak and who is a special orator because she's both a graduating student and also a brilliant colleague within the events team who are organising, among other things, these graduations. So with our thanks for that and for her contributions, will you please welcome Tana Randall.
Thank you so much. It's a real delight to be able to speak on behalf of all the graduates who have crossed the stage today from our many departments. I would also like to preface this with a small apology. As you've just heard, I do work for the graduation team, so you can all imagine it's been a very long week. I'm a little bit tired and a little bit emotional. My time at Royal Holloway has transformed nearly every aspect of who I am. My teenage self would be completely unable to recognise the person who now stands in front of you all. I joined the university in 2019, a wide-eyed fresher with, at the time, canary yellow hair, who was absolutely unknown to everybody and a little more than lost in the world. I spent my first night here on the supposedly haunted fourth-floor corridor of Founders Building, laughing outside my room with a dozen other girls who also knew absolutely nobody and were just as wide-eyed as I was. I knew at that moment I had made the best decision of my life. Like Sisyphus, I was at the bottom of a hill, with a boulder that I optimistically began to push. And like Sisyphus, my boulder rolled back down that hill many, many times. Between the stress of part-time jobs, relentless deadlines, personal struggles, let's not forget a global pandemic, pushing that boulder could sometimes feel like a futile task. It could feel impossible for us to imagine ourselves at the top of the hill, degree in hand. While our boulders may all be different sizes, with each of us facing unique struggles, I'm confident in saying that every single one of us has at some point dropped that boulder back down the hill. Countless of you are international students who moved away from your loved ones and support networks with a goal to achieve something amazing here at Royal Holloway. Some of you may never have had that support network in the first place. Some have lost loved ones who we would give anything to have with us here today. Some of us have had challenging illnesses or life-changing diagnoses. Some of us have definitely worked more than our allotted 20 hours a week, trying to make ends meet financially. Even just the struggle of failing to get out of bed for that morning lecture the day after pulling an all-nighter to hand in your essay. But one must imagine the student happy. I think we have one key difference between ourselves and Sisyphus, besides not being damned to eternal punishment, and that is that we are not alone in our struggle. It is the people I have met in my time at Royal Holloway who have truly changed my life for the better. From the professional services staff members who I have had the absolute delight to work with over the past 2 years, to the academic staff who have encouraged me at every single step, especially my former supervisor, Dr. Zina Gamash. But most especially are the friends that we have all made along the way. The course mates, housemates, clubs, and society members. I do want to take this opportunity to mention by name a few people who are very special to me. Dr. Flossie Roberts and Dr. Dan. Sorry, I did tell you I'm very tired and very emotional. You started your PhDs the same year I started my undergrad, and I love you both. My partner, Ben, who means so much to me. Diolch yn fawr yn gariad. Last member of Brandon, watching from home. Knowing you are always... They know what it's like to be a student. Watching from home, you mean so much to me, and I'm so grateful for you. Every time our boulders have rolled back down our hills, we picked ourselves up and continued to push. Some days we had the strength to push alone, some days we had the help of others to get us through, and some days we, in turn, have helped those we care about push their own boulders. Eventually, unlike poor Sisyphus, we have crested the hill, and every one of us sits here today despite the challenges that we have faced. While it may sound a cliche, I do hope that each one of us can use what we have learned here to make this world a better place, though that is definitely a much bigger and much harder boulder to push and may feel impossible right now. Nevertheless, in a world with so much pain and conflict, where so many are denied access to not just the education that we are fortunate to have, but the ability to live safe, dignified lives free from persecution, I think there is a privilege and a responsibility that we should not take lightly or forget during these important moments in our lives. While one must imagine Sisyphus happy, I don't have to imagine myself happy anymore. I am at the top of the hill, alongside people who I love and who love me. And I know that while one day my boulder is sure to roll back down again, everything that I have learned here and all the ways I have grown in my time will build walls that will stop my boulder from ever hitting the bottom again. And if it does, I know there are people who will help me push it once more. Despite being a classics graduate, I would actually like to end with a few lines from a traditional Welsh poem that I actually have engraved on my necklace. Mi gyrfaf gyda fi dros lwybrau maith, y blodau can y breuddwyd ar ein taith. If lygaid sy llafi di dal di law, mi gyrfaf gyda fi beth benag daw, which poetically translates to, I will walk with you though the road be long, and set forth with a flower, a dream, a song. I take your hand, look into your eyes, and know I will walk with you anywhere you go. Royal Holloway and the people who have come into our lives in our time here will walk with us on the long roads and paths that we now set ourselves to. Thank you so much. I apologise for my tears. And to the class of 2025, congratulations, because we have finally done it.
Thank you so much, Tana, for sharing those very powerful and beautiful words with us. It's always very moving for us to be in the room as well. That was very emotional, but you've done us all very, very proud. I'd like to take this opportunity as well to thank our wonderful student musicians, Hannah Lamb, Maisie Pierce, and Claudia Buchanan, who have been playing so beautifully for you. And graduates, I'd like to give you the chance. They whooped and cheered pretty loudly, so you have a chance to thank your guests now, and it's a high bar, but I trust you. Please applaud and cheer. And please indulge me for just one extra minute before I say the final words to conclude this ceremony, because this is the final ceremony of a very lovely week, but it really does take a village to make winter graduations happen. From St John's Ambulance representatives, our technical team, our brilliant student ambassadors, our performers, our ushers, our photographers, the catering team, our polar bear mascot, but of course also the events team, Anna, Neil, Sarah, Tana, Sue, and many I cannot name here. They're really outstanding, so could you help me to give them a really big round of applause? Thank you for that. So, graduates, let me first say we delight in this opportunity to celebrate your achievements as the graduating class of 2025, even though our 2025 numbers seem to be scattered across Founders Square today. It's a powerful reminder of all you represent. To all the supporters in the audience, watching online, or just with us in our thoughts today, we thank you for everything that you've done to enable everything that we are celebrating here. And graduates, I genuinely hope you're enjoying the day and that you're able to celebrate huge achievements. And I hope you're feeling the love and support that is so clearly here for you in the room and way beyond, and that gives you joy and pride and genuine hope for the future. And know that we at Royal Holloway are always here for you and will always want to know what you're up to. You join a brilliant global network of graduates. Please stay in touch, return often if you can, and know that you will always find a warm welcome in this phenomenal community that we have here. And thank you for the positive part that you've played in that community during your time with us. Graduation days are a brief but incredibly special opportunity to honour and to celebrate what has been. You're marking the things you've achieved and more often than not, some of the challenges that you've overcome. But at the same time, these touchpoint occasions invite us all to look ahead, perhaps with a combination of confidence, curiosity, often with many questions about what is to come. There may be things you are already planning, contributions you want to make with that phenomenal learning and research and all the skills that you have explored and undertaken. Even more fundamentally, you are now the people you have become as a result of your studies, and there are so many lives that you will impact along the way. As Vice-Chancellor and Principal of this brilliant university, it's always my privilege to be invited to share in student achievements, and thank you for those invitations. Thank you for using your many talents to do brilliant things together, from sport to volunteering, to performances, to placements, from research activity to public speaking, to working as student ambassadors. Across our teams, you are always, every day, making a positive difference. I've been thinking in my own work a lot, though, about what the climate practitioner Rebecca Solnit calls the discipline of hope. And we heard a little of that from our remarkable honorary graduate today as well. Hope is something we consciously have to work at. It does real deep work in the world and in society. The writer James Baldwin noted that the hope of the world lies in what one demands not of others, but of oneself. And I know, graduates, that you see and you appreciate in a beautiful spotlit moment like this all the ways in which you've adapted, changed, you're making stringent demands on yourself. And I hope that through that process you can keep hold of your compassion, your care, and your deep sense of purpose, which I know makes you very much part of the Royal Holloway community. Our values of being respectful, innovative, open and daring, emblazoned as they are across the campus, are ones I truly hope you as graduates can carry forward in your particular fields, your specialisms, as the journey unfolds. And that journey may be a little uphill, it may not always be linear or straightforward, but trust in yourselves and all of this support that you have wrapped around you. Enjoy the highs, learn from the lows, and if the direction of the wind changes a little, embrace the opportunity that brings. Your time is now, and we cannot wait to see what you make of it. So as in a moment you leave this room, and today as you say a particular farewell to this special place and to friendships and associations, which I know have meant so many and significant things to you all, please go forward believing, as we do, in your boundless ability to keep adapting, to keep enabling positive change. It's a complex world, but it's still a beautiful one at the end of the day. So I want to return us to the wondrous words of James Baldwin to draw this moment and this ceremony to a close. I am always saying that education is a transformative and astonishing thing. It does mark achievement. It is hard work realized. It is about potential and empowerment, and you all hold that possibility, those attributes so symbolically in your hands today as you carry your scrolls out of the ceremony. But as James Baldwin said, the longer I live, the more deeply I learn that love, whether we call it friendship or family or romance, is the work of mirroring and magnifying each other's light. It's gentle work, steadfast work, and it's life-saving work in those moments when life and sorrow occlude our own light, but there is still a clear-eyed, loving person beaming it back to us. In our best moments, we will be that for one another. And in the end, that's all I can ask of you, class of 2025, to do that gentle, that steadfast, that life-saving work. Yes, carry that immense achievement and privilege of your studies, your achievement with pride and purpose, but also know what it means to love and to be loved. And at this special time of year, we wish all of you all the light and love and sparkle in the world. But class of 2025, this is indeed it. This is your moment. And as I said at the beginning, we are very, very proud of you. So be awesome, be beautiful, love and be loved. Thank you for being part of Royal Holloway, and congratulations. And with that, our ceremony draws to a close. If you feel comfortable doing so, can I please ask you to now stand for the recession?
Please take your seats. It says here, colleagues tell me that it is getting rather wet outside. We will be taking your group photograph inside. We will shortly invite the graduates to stand row by row and make their way out of the venue via the main exit. As you leave the venue, our staff will direct you back to your original seats in the holding room. We will then call you back into this auditorium for your departmental photographs. Guests, once all of our graduates have left the venue, please make your way out of the venue and head to the Founders Dining Hall in the building across the way. As you leave via the main doors, you will be handed a drinks token by one of our ushers. These tokens can be exchanged at the reception in Founders Dining Hall. Our student ambassadors in orange will be on hand to guide you. Your graduates will be out shortly once their departmental photographs have been taken, so please do make your way straight to the reception to meet them there. Do not wait for them in the foyer of this building, as it will become very crowded. So please could I ask our graduates now to follow on, row by row, beginning with the first row of graduates, and make their way out. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day.